Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of October 11, Friday. I'm Riza Diaz. Kickstarting this morning's rush with Palace spokesman Panelo dodging the rush hour, it seems, by doing his commute challenge earlier than what everyone expected. Now, we have with us on the line Greg Gregorio to give us some updates on Panelo's commute challenge. Greg, good morning.
Good morning, Riza. I'm here at the LRT Santolan station, where we got to talk to Bayan Secretary General Renato Reyes, who arrived here at around 5 early this morning. He was waiting for presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo to show up in relation to his commute challenge. The plan was the two of them were supposed to take a bus from Santolan to Cubao at 6 a.m. together with other commuters affected by the partial closure of the LRT Line 2. However, a few minutes before 6 a.m., Panelo was no-show, and photos of him riding a jeepney surfaced on the social media. Reyes says he was disappointed that Panelo did not follow through with the terms of the challenge. But even so, Reyes hopes that with Secretary Panelo's jeepney ride, the palace spokesperson would see what the riding public has to endure during the rush hour and realize that there is indeed a problem in their mass transportation system. At around 6 a.m. Riza, Reyes took the bus without Panelo, but with all other commuters. We talked to some commuters here, and they're saying that Panelo should really experience their hardship in traveling to work. Some also challenged other senators, like Senator Grace Poe, to take the public transportation system once more and see if there is a need to reconsider the Senate's decision rejecting the president's request for emergency powers to address congestion and other transport issues in the metro. Riza?
Well, so it seems he's happy so far with commuting with all the selfies that he sent. Well, thank you very much. That was Greg Gregorio giving us an update. Now, getting an update this time straight from the man of the hour, it seems Panelo did encounter a bit of traffic on his way despite as what we've seen him leaving early in the morning. Now, in a phone interview with 1PH and Radyo 5's Early Already, a while ago, Panelo said he left around 5 this morning. However, he did not mention where he was coming from or where he was at the moment. Only that, yes, he is experiencing traffic on his way, but he claims it wasn't even a challenge for him.
Traffic ka na ba sa mga oras na ito? Hindi pa naman.
Kanina pa kami nagta-traffic. Alam mo, ang problema dun sa mga hinamon, nagkamali sila ng hinamon. Laking kalsada ako.
Laking kalsada.
Senaryo na sa akin yung jeepney, bus.
Still, Panelo claims the term traffic crisis isn't appropriate, although he recognized that there is a problem with the quality of commute and travel Filipinos, particularly in the metro. Now, Panelo insists the government isn't stopping anytime soon in addressing the problem.
Yung aking salitang walang crisis na umakyat.
Exactly what do you mean?
Ang problema kasi, hindi nila iniintindi. Pareho nang hindi nila pag-iintindi kay Presidente Duterte. Pag sinabi kong walang crisis, I was referring na walang paralysis ang transportation.
Okay.
Pero may crisis tayo sa paghihirap nating lahat.
Now, moving on to other headlines, embattled PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde now looks to sue former CIDG head Ben Magalong over serious accusations linking him to the drug recycling issue. Ria Fernandez has the story.
The unverified report reached media groups that PNP Chief Director General Oscar Albayalde had just stepped down. It was immediately denied by his office. In a text message to News 5, PNP spokesperson Bernard Banac said Albayalde's supposed resignation was fake news. It comes after another Senate witness accused the PNP chief of protecting ninja cops, rogue cops who allegedly recycle seized drugs. On Wednesday's Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, retired CIDG official Rudy Lacadin alleged that Albayalde, then the Pampanga police chief, called him up to check about the case of the ninja cops and supposedly admitted to receiving a little of the drug loot. Albayalde has denied the accusation, saying other police officials are ganging up on him.
Tulad mo kung anong motive niya. Pero he has to explain. He has a lot of explaining to do. It's very unlikely. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. It's very unlikely. Alam niya yan. It's very unlikely. Deputy siya ng CIDG noon ni General Magalong. So you know the connection already there.
Albayalde, who is set to retire on November 8, says he will leave his fate to President Rodrigo Duterte. Presidential spokesperson Attorney Salvador Panelo meanwhile said the president is still waiting for the result of the Senate and DOJ's investigation on the issue.
Hayaan mo yung Senado mag-imbestiga, magkaroon sila ng findings, hayaan mo si DILG Secretary mag-imbestiga, and then magkaroon siya ng findings and recommendation, and the president will act on them.
So, as we speak, wala pang parang pasabi si Pangulo for Albayalde to resign or
Wala.
earlier? Okay.
Wala akong narinig.
For News 5, Ria Fernandez, We Are One News.
The Bureau of Corrections started their clearing operations inside the maximum security compound of Bilibid in an effort to get rid of the facility of corruption and illegal items. Now, they began with demolishing illegal structures called kubol that are allegedly being used by inmates as drug dens.
Unang-una po, ito pong maximum security compound ay may mga authorized na mga buildings na nakita noon. Dahil po, over time, ay nagpatayo po ng mga scientists sa iba't ibang dako na naging pagpupugat ng isyo. Doon po nagkakabentahan, nagtatapatakan ng shabu. Sa madaling salita po, ginamit po ang mga kubol na yun para makagawa po ng mga illegal activities.
Now, aside from this, authorities confiscated illegal drugs, sex toys, cell phones, court papers, and uniforms. This also included food that came straight from the inmates' families.
Ang hinahanakit namin nung nalaman namin na ang kasama sa na-dump at pinadispose at pinangtapon ay pagkain. Yun lang naman sana ang pagbigyan na huwag naman isama yung mga pagkain kasi yan ang pangangailangan ng mga tao sa loob na hindi kayang bigay ng gobyerno. And everybody's aware with that.
Blackmail, that's what Bayan Muna calls Manila Water's warning that the rates could increase up to 780% if the Supreme Court will not reverse its decision. Marian Enriquez will tell us why.
Manila Water warns consumers of a 780% increase in water rates, or by as much as 26 pesos and 70 centavos per cubic meter, if the government insists on the early completion of sewage systems in Metro Manila. The water concessionaire have started building sewage plants for their consumers in 2004, but because of the Manila Bay Rehab Project, they want to fast-track the completion of sewage systems by 2026, which is too soon compared to the original completion date in 2037.
Ang implications nun ay number one, dahil lahat yon gagastusan mo na ngayon, no? Magmula ngayon hanggang 2026 para matapos yan. So ang ibig sabihin nun, pag ginastusan mo yon, ang magiging impact nito sa mga customers natin, una, tataas yung water bills nila.
This could also worsen traffic in Metro Manila if constructions were to be compressed in 5 years.
Ang kaibahan kasi ng paglalatag ng sewer lines doon sa mga linya ng tubig, ang sewer lines mo, nilalagay mo to sa mas malalim. It's almost literally digging yung entire East Concession area ng Metro Manila para makapaglatag ka lang ng mga sewer lines na ito so that ma-meet mo yung matapos mo lahat ito by 2026.
This stemmed from the Supreme Court decision in August, imposing fines on Manila Water for non-compliance of the Clean Water Act. The Supreme Court says that the water concessionaire failed to complete their sewage projects in 2009, handing them fines of 921 million pesos and an additional 322,000 pesos per day until the sewage projects are complete. But Manila Water maintained in its motion for reconsideration that it complied with its sewerage responsibilities under the Clean Water Act. The law simply required them to interconnect the existing water lines of households, condominiums, and subdivisions to available sewer lines of the concessionaires. By 2009, Manila Water said it had interconnected 61,000 out of 63,000 subscribers to its sewer trunk. The rest could not be interconnected because the available sewers would be compromised if overloaded. Meanwhile, Bayan Muna representative calls Manila Water's move as blackmail.
Kundina natin ito at dapat ang panawagan natin, especially sa regulatory office ng MWSS, huwag payagan ang mga ganitong blackmailing, no? Corporate blackmail ng mga concessionaires sa mga aksyon na sila rin ang may gawa. Tayong mga consumers, nagbabayad tayo ng sewerage fee. Pero ginagawa ba nila yung kanilang obligasyon?
For News 5, Marian Enriquez, VR1 News.
And here are the biggest stories from the dailies. Cebuanos might have to brace for more water shortage as the dry spell continues, while 2 of Cebu's water suppliers are currently out of commission. The Freeman reports that this will affect the water supply in Talisay, Cebu City, Mandaue, Lapu-Lapu, as well as in the towns of Cordova, Liloan, Compostela, and Carmen. Now, these areas may experience lower service hours or no water supply for over 24 hours. Now, the Metropolitan Cebu Water District has dispatched water trucks in several barangays to help affected consumers. From the Filipino Star ngayon, at least 50 tubs of dead fish were found floating in Las Piñas, Parañaque Critical Habitat Ecotourism Area on Thursday. DENR officials have now collected water samples to determine what led to the fish kill. Now, among the possible causes being looked at are water contamination and climate change.
Patuloy lang tayo makipag-cooperate sa PNP Maritime para ma-prevent natin yung mga ganito pangyayari.
And this from the Philippine Star. The Villar's family's All Home closed on a positive note in its market debut after rising higher than its initial public offering price of 11 pesos and 50 centavos. The almost 15 billion peso share sale is the biggest IPO in 3 years. Now, the company offered 1.12 billion shares in its first day, representing 30% of its total issued shares. And moving forward, All Value Holdings is considering undertaking more IPOs for its other retail concepts like the Coffee Project, All Day Supermarket, and All Sports. Let's fast break now to Sports Rush. Petron books the last semis ticket in Pool C of the 2019 PSL Invitational Cup. That's after beating the Marinerang Filipina Ladies Skippers in 3 straight sets, 25-22, 25-22, and 25-8. Cesc Molina and Cici Rondina powered that inspired win, combining for 23 points. Now, after taking such a beating, Marinerang Filipina will try to avoid a winless conference, taking on PLDT tomorrow. Now, over in Pool D, Photon keeps its playoff dreams alive, demolishing Santa Lucia in 4 sets, 25-27, 25-15, 25-22, and 25-11. Both teams will try to strengthen their bid for the semifinals, facing Generica and F2 this Sunday. And finally, Signal continues to dominate, heading now to the semifinals after maintaining a pristine 5-0 win card. The HD Spikers overpowered the PLDT home fiber power hitters in straight sets, thanks to Maylene Paat's 14 attacks, 3 kill blocks, and 8 excellent digs. Now, while celebrating the win, Paat also invited PSL fans to participate in a jersey bidding event currently happening on Twitter for the benefit of Jovelyn Gonzaga's nephew, who is suffering from acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
Halos lahat po ng mga athletes sa PSL ay nagbibigay po kami ng jersey.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.